Okay, yesterday we ended with the naming of our organic compounds, but we have not yet finished the rules in our naming. So ano natin siya, balikan natin siya and then tapusin natin para at the end of the day or at the end of the session, you will know how to name our alkanes to be specific. So the first one that you have to know is, diba, you have to identify the longest chain. Now, the longest chain will be the carbon-to-carbon bonds na pinakamahaba na diretso-diretso, tuloy-tuloy sila. And that will be our parent chain. So just like our example on the screen, you have this one. Yung naka-yellow, that will be a straight chain. And if you count those carbons, we have a total of 8. Okay? But if liliko kasi tayo, this will just be 7 carbon atoms. So since ang ating number 1 rule is to look for the longest chain, then ito yung ating gagamitin. This will be our longest chain, 8 carbon. And remember, pag 8 carbon, our prefix is oct. And since single bond silang lahat, so this will be considered an alkane. And the ending for the name of an alkane is syempre ane. Idudugtong mo siya doon sa prefix. That's why we call this octane. Okay, octane yan siya. So just like yesterday, idodraw ko na naman siya with the condensed formula. Gagamitin ko yung condensed formula, i-fill in ko yung remaining bonds with hydrogen. So sabi ko, 'di ba, even last time na ang carbon meron siyang 4 na valence electron and that is capable of bonding to other elements. And for example, nakabond na siya with another carbon pero may natitira pa na bonds, i-fill in natin yon with hydrogen. Kasi that's the characteristic of most of our organic compounds. Meron talagang carbon to hydrogen bond. So kagaya nitong carbon na ito, it is bonded to another carbon. So one bond is being occupied. So 4 minus 1, that's 3. Yan yung magiging number of hydrogen niya. So and then this will be bonded to carbon. Now this carbon here is bonded to 2 more carbon. So 1 carbon on top and another carbon here on the right side. So that is what? A total of 3 bonds already. 1, 2, 3. So that is the reason why ang naiwan na na hydrogen ay isa na lang. Okay, that's how you make a condensed formula ha. So isa na lang. Now since 1 na lang, no need to actually write the subscript 1. Automatic kapag just like our inorganic chemistry, pag hydrogen 1 atom, no need to write the subscript 1. Now how about this carbon on top? It is bonded to 1 carbon only class, this carbon at the center only. So that's 4 minus 1 equals 3. So this one naman is also a CH3. Now this carbon here, the third carbon in our chain, it is bonded syempre on the carbon on the left side and also another carbon here on the right side. So that's two bonding all in all. So ang maiwan na lang dyan na hydrogen ay 2. That is also true for this carbon here. The fourth one is also bonded to 2 carbons. So this is also CH2. I-minus nyo lang ha, basta ang total lang talaga ay 4 bonds. Now this time, this carbon here is bonded to another carbon here, and this carbon on top is also bonded to another carbon. And we have another carbon here on the right. Pero kung bibilangin natin, that is just 1, 2, 3. Hindi mo bibilangin yung nasa taas ha. 1, 2, 3. Yung directly lang nakaband sa carbon na ito. So, 3 yan. Siyempre, ang natira na lang is isang hydrogen. The carbon on top, I mean at the center pero nasa taas, bonded siya directly to two other carbons. So this one is a CH2. And lastly, ito, isa na lang yung bonding niya. So CH3. So I hope nafa-follow pa yon. And then we have, what's next? We have a carbon here bonded to a carbon below. And then bonded to another carbon on the right. So kung bibilangin natin 1, 2, 3, that's already 3 bondings. Ang matitira dyan, isang hydrogen na lang. Okay? And then, syempre, this one is CH2 kasi dalawang bondings yan. And the last carbon, syempre, isang bonding na lang ito. This will become CH3. So this will be now the correct condensed formula of our given. Oh, not yet. I forgot the one below. This one is also CH3. Kasi isang bonding lang directly no sa kanya. CH3 din yan siya. So again, this one is the correct condensed formula for our example here. And we will be naming this compound. So ano nga yung first step? You have to look for the longest chain. So I hope masundan ninyo. Binilang natin ito kahapon. Pag straight chain lang yung bibilangin natin, starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 carbons. If you try na lumiko, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's only 7 carbons. So we are still here sa straight chain. Ito yung ating i-consider na longest chain and that will be the parent chain. So yun yung uunahin mo name. Yan yung isusulat mo una, yung parent chain niya. Again, our parent chain is called oc kasi 8 carbon. And since single bond yan lahat, mag-e-end siya sa ane. So this is octane. Now, ano ang hindi nasali sa naming? We have here the CH3. Hindi yan siya nasali in the counting kasi remember our counting is this one, the straight chain. This one also here is not included in the naming and also the carbon below. Okay, hindi sila nasali sa parent chain. So pag ganyan class, hindi sila nasali sa parent chain, ang tawag natin sa kanila substituent. Okay, substituent or a branch. Yan yung tawag. Substituent kasi supposedly, 'di ba, hydrogen dapat yan siya diyan. Example itong CH na ito. Supposedly may hydrogen siya but tinanggalan natin siya ng isang hydrogen and pinalitan natin siya nitong CH3 sa taas. Kaya siya tinawag na substituent. But you can also call it a branch ha kasi it's not really included in the parent chain. So itong mga branch, in-name din natin sila. Again, in-name din natin yung ating mga branches. So itong first branch natin, ito siya. Ayan. First branch yan siya ha. We will call it methyl. So bakit methyl? Di ba pag isang carbon, ang kanyang prefix ay meth. Okay? Meth siya. Pero supposedly, kung alkane siya, mag-e-end siya sa methane. Pero methane is CH4. Kompleto yung kanyang hydrogen. This time, CH3 lang siya. Kasi nakaband nga siya sa carbon dito sa parent chain. So makukunan talaga siya ng hydrogen. Hindi man pwede magsobra class ng 5 bonding yung ating carbon. Kaya kung i-CH4 na to na siya, plus 1 bonding here, going to the carbon, 5 na yun lahat. Hindi siya pwede. So kukunan talaga siya ng isang hydrogen. So di ba pag kunan siya ng isang hydrogen, it will become an alkyl. And thus the ending will not be ane but il or YL. So kaya methyl. So the first substituent is called a methyl. Wait, kilowatt. Basig napatay kalit. Okay, and then this one, I'll just number that para hindi tayo malito. Now the second substituent or the branch here has 2 carbons. Ano nga yung ating prefix pag dalawang carbon? Sino yung makaalala yesterday? Ano ang prefix?
F po.
Okay, very good. Okay, very good. That is F. For 2 carbons, our prefix is F. Again, F ha. Pero this is not an ethane. Bakit hindi siya ethane? Because ethane class, kung idodraw natin si ethane, remember, it looks like this. Pupunuan natin siya ng hydrogen. Ayan. Okay, para 4 lahat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this carbon also 1, 2, 3, 4. So kung isusulat natin ang kanyang condensed formula, the condensed formula for ethane is CH3CH3. Diba? Tigtatatlo sila na hydrogen. Now what happened here? This carbon here is just CH2. So kulang din siya ng isang hydrogen. And that's when you remove 1 hydrogen, it will become an alkyl. And thus, hindi siya mag-end with ane. Instead, mag-end siya with il. So this one here, the first one is called methyl, the second one is called an ethyl. Okay? And syempre, the third one is also a methyl. So methyl pa rin yan siya. Kasi parehas naman sila ng first natin na substituent or na branch, CH3. Kulang ng isa, so we cannot call it methane, but instead methyl. Okay? So we have already what do you call that? Identified the names of our branch. The next step is actually idudugtong na natin yung names ng ating substituent dito sa parent chain natin. Again, idudugtong na natin yung ating substituent dito sa parent chain. So what will be our rules? Again, what will be our rules? The first rule is we have to arrange them alphabetically. Okay? Alphabetically. Mauna, syempre, A, B, C, D. Kung titingnan natin, among the 3, methyl, ethyl, and methyl, kung i-arrange natin sila alphabetically, iuna nating isusulat si ethyl. Okay? And then isusunod natin si methyl. That's how we write the substituent. It doesn't matter kung nauna si methyl in the parent chain, basta alphabetical tayo. But hindi lang yan ganon. After arranging them alphabetically, we will also identify that's number 1 ha. Number 2, we will also identify the number of carbon in the parent chain, where the substituent is bonded. Okay? Wala na akong nag-move sa akong slide. Actually, these rules are written on the succeeding slides, but for the sake lang na tuloy-tuloy yung ating pag-name, hindi tayo malito. So again, number 1, alphabetical. Number 2, we have to identify also the number of carbon in the parent chain where the substituent is being bonded. So, what do I mean by that? Let me change the color of my pen for proper identification. Magna-number tayo, class. Diba meron tayong 8 carbons sa ating parent chain? Each of them will be assigned numbers, pero pasunod. Now, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pero pwede din namang 1, 2, 3, 4. Pwedeng pabalik. Ito yung number 1 mo, ito yung number 1. Pero ganito, hindi talaga siya pwede na kahit saan ka lang mag number 1. Ano yung i-consider natin? Magka-carbon number 1 ka doon sa dulo na may pinakamalapit na substituent. I hope nasundan yon. Ang carbon 1, hindi ko na siya i-state in English. Itatagalog natin siya. Our carbon number 1 is doon sa dulo, class, na may pinakamalapit na substituent. So isusulat ko siya ha. This is carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pero kung babaliktarin natin siya, let me change the color of my pen again. This is carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, titingnan natin. Kung dito tayo magka-carbon 1, carbon number 1 at carbon number 2, meron na tayong substituent. Pero kung ito yung carbon number 1 natin, yung substituent natin nasa carbon number 3 pa. So, ano nga yung rule? Doon tayo sa may pinakamalapit na substituent. So, let me erase the green ones kasi our final number 1 carbon is ito. Okay? Yan yung ating final na carbon number 1. So, kung na-identify na natin, ganito siya. Pagsulat ng ating final na name. So, ano nga yung una? Ethyl, kasi alphabetical tayo. And anong carbon nakalagay? Si ethyl. It's on carbon number 5. So, isusulat mo siya. Una yung number, and then idugtong mo siya with a dash, and then yung pangalan ng substituent. Can I just, lipat ko lang yung name ha, para mabasa siya. Kasi nag-overlap siya with this one. So we have again the octane here as the parent chain. And then again, the ethyl is found on carbon number 5. So I'll write here 5-ethyl. Okay? 5-ethyl. Yung 5 is, kasi si ethyl is found on carbon number 5. Okay? Tapos dash ka na naman. That's how we really name our organic compounds. Anong sunod? Methyl. However, meron tayong dalawang methyl. Kapag ganito ang case class, gagamit tayo ng prefixes. Ano yung prefixes? Not the for substituents, we don't use, sorry. For again, for our branch or substituent class, we will use the prefix di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, nona, ayan. And actually hangtod dinha lang na siya, no? Just to count kung meron tayong multiple na the same branches. Okay? Pag may multiple na the same branches, gagamit tayo ng prefixes. Pag isa lang, no need. No need to write mono. Pero pag dalawa pataas na siya, gagamit na tayo. Kagaya nito, dalawa ang methyl. So, we will name here now this one as di, and then idugtong mo yung pangalan niya. Dimethyl. Meaning, dalawang methyl. Pero, isusulat pa rin natin kung anong number of carbon sila nakalagay. So the first one is found on carbon number 2. So ilagay mo dito 2. And then this will now be separated by a comma. Kapag siya, dalawang substituent na magkapareho, hindi dash yung magse-separate ng number of carbon, but a comma. So the other one is found on carbon number 6. Okay? This is carbon number 6 here. And then, dash na naman tayo before you write the name dimethyl. So, dugtong yun na siya, ha? Wala na siya space. So, tama ra ako ang space nga gihatag. Dimethyl octane. So, this is now the correct name of this organic compound. Again, we call it 5-ethyl 2,6-dimethyl octane. Questions about our alkane here? Any question? Wait lang. Wala yung pangutana. Sure na? So let's just have another example. Siyempre, practice lang yun siya. Hindi kasi lahat ng organic compounds class simple lang. Like ethane, methane, propane, butane. Most of our organic compounds are actually large compounds. So we really have to know how to write their names. Hindi na paglagyan ng dash ang between sa dimethyl. No, hindi na siya. Pag ano na siya, pag last substituent na siya, ayan, like this one, last substituent na siya, hindi na lalagyan ng dash between the name of the substituent and the name of the parent chain. Idudugtong mo talaga siya sa name ni parent chain pag last substituent. Okay? Anything else? Wala na. Buhi pa ta din ha. Islisan ha kay dili lalim atong organic chemistry. So this one is another example. Though this is actually the number 2 na rule, pero sinabi ko na kasi siya kanina na i-identify lahat ng substituent. Pero this is another example ha. Though nakasulat na yung name niya, that is the correct name, 4-ethyl 2-methylhexane. Pero ipapakita ko sa inyo paano nakuha yung correct name na yan. So ano nga yung first step natin? Identify the parent chain. So you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We have 6 carbons if straight lang. Pero kung itry natin lumiko, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pareho lang. Okay, pareho lang. Kapag ganito, wala tayong problema. Parehas lang naman pala sila. So, diretso mo nang isulat yung parent chain. Yung parent chain is 6. 6 na carbon. And pag 6 na carbon, di ba, yung ating prefix is hex. And single bond yan lahat. Nakikita nyo dyan, single bond sila lahat. So, this will become now a hexane. That is our parent chain. So we will just assume the straight chain para hindi tayo malito. Though kung kahit liliko tayo, parehas lang naman. Pero again, para hindi tayo malito, let's just assume the parent chain as itong straight chain natin. So ano yung hindi natin nasali? This one, in the name or in the parent chain. And then this one. So dalawang substituents tayo. So the first here, syempre is 1 carbon. So 1 meth. And -1 na hydrogen, this is called a methyl. Okay? And then ito, dalawang carbon. Again, dalawang carbon. -1 hydrogen here for this carbon. So it's not an ethane, but instead it's an ethyl. Okay? Wala tayong substituent na nag-i-end sa ane ha. Lahat yan mag-i-end sa il. Okay? Kasi kulang talaga yan sila ng hydrogen. Ni-remove kasi kailangan i-bond doon sa parent chain. So we have identified now the names of our substituents. We'll have to number now the parent chain. Magna-number tayo dito sa ating parent chain. And let's try. Kung ito yung carbon number 1 natin, this will be carbon number 1. On carbon number 2, may substituent na tayo. Pero kung baliktarin natin, di ba kanina binaliktad ko class, this is carbon number 1. Kasi you have to identify saan yung pinakamalapit na merong substituent. If this is our carbon number 1, saan tayo magkakaroon ng substituent? On carbon number 3. Ito on carbon number 2. So, we will now choose this one. Itong naka-blue, yan yung ating magiging number for our parent chain. Okay. Ayan yung may pinakamalapit na substituent. Okay. So, Ano ngayon? Yung mga number of carbons na nakabond, yung ating, wait lang ha. Ayan. Ating substituent on carbon number 2 and carbon number 4. Pero, ang pagsulat niyan, remember, alphabetical. So, it doesn't matter na si methyl nasa carbon number 2, hindi siya mauuna. Mauuna pa rin si methyl. Ay, si ethyl, sorry. And then, let's write. So, what's that again? Carbon number 4. So, 4. Kaya 4 ethyl. And then dash na naman. And then 2 dash methyl. So, again ha, kapag ka last substituent, nakadugtong siya sa pangalan ng parent chain. So, this one is the correct name. 4 ethyl, 2 methyl hexane. Yung kanina, dimethyl yun, diba? Pero the arrangement is still following this one. Though, diba, supposedly kung magdaday ka, mauunan na siya alphabetically. Pero yung titingnan natin is the name of the substituent. Hindi natin iti-take into consideration yung idudugtong natin na prefix. Kaya nauna pa rin si ethyl kanina kesa kay dimethyl. So ito, since isa-isa lang sila, no prefix na gagamitin. Ethyl and methyl lang talaga. Okay? Questions? Wala.
Yes po, ma'am.
Ay, yes, Jamuel? Ano yan?
Pag mag-naming, ma'am, condensed formula gid ang gamiton gid siya, ma'am.
Actually, when I do naming, it will be much easier to use the condensed formula than to use the other types of formula. Sa molecular formula kasi, di ba, hindi natin nakikita yung bonding doon. So that will be very difficult for us to name the compounds. Kung structural formula naman, okay lang din naman yung structural formula. Pero pag nag-structural formula, malibog manggugo sa kadaghan sa hydrogen. Kasi remember, di ba, lahat ng hydrogen dyan is spread out mo. So, for the sake na hindi tayo ma-confuse, I seldom use the structural formula. And then kung line formula naman, it will still also be confusing kasi lines lang yung nakikita mo and we will just assume na merong mga carbons in between or at the end of the lines. So that will also be difficult. So kaya ang talaga easier, the easiest na type of formula na gagamitin during the naming of the organic compounds is the condensed formula. Wait lang ha. Wait lang, meron na akong titingnan. I-ano ko lang ito, this one is very important. Okay, so let's answer the questions. Ma'am, may case po na mag-double band. Wait lang. Ma'am, may case po na mag-double band if may double band po. Okay. Yeah, may cases talaga na mag-double band. Kaya lang, next time ko siya bibigyan ng example. Bakit? Kasi we are still focusing on the alkanes. So pagkatapos ko discuss ng alkanes, magsa-cycloalkanes ako, tapos mag-aalkenes tayo. Pag mag-alkenes na tayo, actually almost the same rule sa naming, kaya lang magbabago yung parent chain. Again, magbabago yung parent chain. So doon ko i-discuss how to name the double bonds. Tapos after alkenes, we will have the alkynes. So pag alkynes na tayo, I will also teach you how to name pag merong triple bond. So isa-isa muna tayo. Ano muna natin? I-master muna natin si alkane tapos mag-move on tayo kay alkene. Okay? So isa-isa muna para di ta malibog. Okay, nice, I'll go. Hindi siya dimethyl, ma'am, kay dalawa ang methyl na substituent po. Saan yan? Dito? Ito? Ito na example or yung kanina? Jen?
Yan.
Ayan. Isang methyl lang siya. This one is counted as one methyl. Pero ito, since substituent sila, no, counted sila as one. Ito siya, counted ito siya as one. So, hindi mo siya pwedeng paghiwalayin. Okay? Malilito ka kung ihihiwalay mo siya. Sa parent chain lang talaga ha. Paano mo malaman, ma'am, bakit siya ethyl? Bakit hindi siya isang methyl and another methyl here? Ang tatandaan natin, class, yung direct nila na bonding sa ating parent chain. So since si methyl, isang methyl lang talaga ito siya, directly nakaband sa parent chain. Ito directly nakaband. Itong CH3 naman hindi kasi siya nakaband directly sa ating parent chain. So counted as one substituent yan siya. And thus, hindi natin sila ipaghihiwalay. Ethyl talaga siya, dalawang carbon na substituent. So isang methyl lang siya. Hindi mo siya pwedeng tawaging dimethyl kasi isa lang talaga ito. Wala ka nang ibang makikita na methyl dyan. Kasi lahat ng iba dyan, ito counted sila sa parent chain. Okay? Counted sila sa parent chain. Anything else? Wala? Wala na. Wait. Nakita ko sa cellphone. Di ba ngunit? Ay, sorry. Tingog mo akong cellphone. And we have our meeting kasi this afternoon. I'm so busy. Tapos I'm not feeling well.
Ma'am, mag-rest ka na dapat talaga, ma'am.
I need to finish this one. It's again another example tayo. Wait lang ha. And this one is the same, right? For ethyl to methyl hexane. This is just the rule. Pero sinabi ko na siya kanina, I don't really like to change slides while I'm doing the naming. Pero sinabi ko na to kanina na magna-number tayo ng carbon sa parent chain from the end, which has the lowest number of the substituent. Okay? This one is another example. Let me just really reply to this one kasi so this is very important. Okay, sige. Ayan. Let us try to name this, though given na yung name niya sa screen, but let us, ipakita ko sa inyo paano yan nakuha, yung 4-ethyl 3,3-dimethyl heptane. So this one is the same substituent, of course, more than one. Ito yung rule na nagsasabing gagamit tayo ng prefixes. Pero balik tayo doon sa rule na tinuro ko talaga sa inyo. Number 1, identify the parent chain. Okay? So parent chain, let's count first. If we do the straight line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7 carbon here. Pag try nating lumiko, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 carbon. Lumiko ako ha pag ganyan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ay, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kaya 6 carbons ending here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's also 6 carbon. 6 carbon sa taas. So, pipiliin natin yung pinaka marami. So, our parent chain will be this straight chain. So, 7 yon. That is why, pag 7, prefix natin is, ano nga prefix natin? Hept. Hindi na siya muagi. Okay. Okay, very good, Emma. That's heptane. Hep, no? And then, kung titingnan natin, single bond sila lahat. So, mag-e-end siya sa So heptane, single, the straight chain. Now what is not included here is this one. This one here, and then another one on top. And then this one is counted as one. Kasi isang bond lang yan, nakaband sa parent chain natin. Again, isang bond nakaband sa parent chain. So hindi mo siya pwedeng ihiwalay. Counted as one talaga yan siya, class. Okay. Now, let's name them. CH3 here, that's one carbon. So that is methyl. Ayan. Ito class, ang nakita niyo ang difference ha, hiwalay talaga sila. Hindi kagaya nito na counted as one siya. Ito, hiwalay talaga, one methyl here on below and another methyl on top. Kasi magkaiba naman yung bonds nila. Papunta doon sa parent chain natin. Ito, isang bond lang talaga, kaya counted sila as one branch. So since two carbons yan, we also call this ethyl. Okay? Ethyl ha, pag substituent, -1 talaga yan na hydrogen. So, ang ending nila ay YL. Okay, so we have identified now the names of our substituents. We will now identify saan tayo magna-number. Okay? If we start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, saan tayo magkakaroon ng first substituent? Here at carbon number 4. But, if baliktarin natin, let's have the reverse. 1, dito tayo mag-carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Ayan. On carbon number 3, meron na tayong substituent. So, unlike the first two examples, baliktad tayo. So, let's erase the red one. Baliktad tayo. Reverse counting tayo. So, ito yung ating carbon number 1. So, I hope nasundan pa siya. Now, what will be our substituents? Ethyl and methyl. Sabi ko, alphabetical. So, mauuna si ethyl. So, isulat natin siya 4 and then dash and then ang pangalan niya, ethyl. Okay, 4 ha kasi nasa carbon number 4 siya. And ang pangalan niya ay ethyl. Tapos dash na naman and we have 2 methyl. So ito yung question ni Jendi kanina. Meron tayong dalawang methyl. Yung kanina hindi wala kasi isang methyl lang yon. This time dalawa talaga. So ano nga yung prefix pag dalawa? It's
Di po, ma'am.
okay, very good. It's di. So di and then yung pangalan niya, dimethyl. We will call this dimethyl. Pero unahin muna natin sulat yung carbon kung saan sila nakabind. Okay, so both of them are bonded to carbon number 3. Ang ganito ang susulat natin, class. 3, 3. Both 3 talaga, isulat mo. Kasi parehas silang nakaband sa carbon number 3. So dalawang 3 separated by a comma and then a dash. And then, sobra di akong space nga gibutang. Let's just adjust the heptane later. And then you write dimethyl. And then, let's adjust the heptane. Wait lang. And then, we have here the heptane. So, yes, this one is a correct name. Is the correct name of the given sa screen. 4-ethyl, 3,3 dimethyl heptane. Yes, Jendi, are you raising your hand?
If ever isa lang na 3 ang ilagay, malian mo, ma'am. Or
Yeah,
mali siya.
Pag isa lang at 3 ang isulat, mali na siya. Okay? Pag isa ka 3 lang ang isulat, mali na siya. Duhagin na ka 3 kay duhaman siya ka methyl. So ano ha, pag dalawa, dalawang number din ang isusulat mo. Kahit pa magkaparehong number yan siya kasi pareha silang nakaband sa carbon number 3, dalawang number talaga, 3, 3. Okay, so nakita mo yan siya, Fred Dave. Actually may mali dyan sa formula na yan. Kulang ng 2 dito. Kasi diba 2 carbons lang yan, 1, 2. Ayan, so supposedly this one is a CH2. So very good, Free Dave, nakita mo yan yung mali dyan sa example. Okay? That's CH2. Questions for this one? Wala.
JM, pangutanan na. Maulo pa, Jud.
JM. Basig, hilak na ni si
Ma'am, rest na, ma'am.
No, kagabi nag-rest na ko. I was
Ma'am,
actually...
kasi ni JM nga ikaw mangutana sa iya, ma'am.
ako
Uy,
mangutan na,
buwan.
JM.
Bye, ma'am. Hinay akong signal.
Pag mag face-to-face, wala dyan nga na ba? Kaya wala na yung signal.
Ma'am, inganti ka, ma'am. Na-connecting ko.
Ay, kabalo na ko ng mga modo sa mga estudyante class. I also have my brother here, currently enrolled sa doctors, pero pharmacy, sundog-sundog mo siya sa kuang kurso. Nakita na nako tanang modos ngayon ginabuhat. And I also have my cousin sa pharma gihapon na first year karon. Kabalo ko sa mga modos-modos. I think some of you friends, I don't know kung friend mo sa akong igsuon or friend mo sa akong cousin. Si Shane nga Gullier is my cousin. Then I have another pag-umangkon daghan kay ko ginaatiman sa eskwelahan aside sa mga estudyante. Napa ko isa ka pag-umangkon nga senior high sa school. Kita ko sa mga modos-modos sa mga estudyante class. Kabalo na ko ng mga Discord, mga Facebook Messenger, paduko-duko lang na during the quiz, naghulat nag-answer. Gikan sa class. Kabalo ko ala tanan. So,
Hindi kami ganyan.
Pero
Si JM,
it's good. It's good na hindi ka ganyan.
Ma'am, inaano ko. Punasad.
Kasi pag magbalik tayo sa school class for the face-to-face, kayo lang din yung mahihirapan. Okay? Kayo lang din. Wait lang. Daghan ba o concerns? May kasi later this afternoon. Merong meeting. 1 o'clock ba? Let me check the time. Yes, Jandy.
ma'am, iba ba ang rules sa pag-naming ng mga cycloalkane, ma'am, or the same lang?
Merong parts na the same, meron ding magbabago, especially the parent chain. Kasi cycloalkane naman siya. So yung name lang nila, dadagdagan natin ng cyclo. So like cyclohexane, not methane, cyclopropane, cyclobutane. Dadagdagan natin yung name nila. Okay? Magbabago. Merong changes. Pero yung iba, yung pag-name ng branch, yung pag-count ng carbon, ng parent chain, ganun pa rin. Okay? So let's have this one. Ito medyo mahaba-haba. Though makikita nyo na yung name dyan sa screen, pero ipakita natin paano naging 5-sec-butyl 2,7-dimethyl nonane ang pangalan dyan. That is the reason why, di ba, I told you kagahapon sa lab that the chemistry na hindi ko talaga gusto is the organic chemistry. So, katong nag-board exam ko, di ampo gyud ako ni siya nga, Lord, wala untay mugawas nga organic chem sa board exam. Sa inyo, I think hindi siya kasali sa board exam nyo. Pero kailangan nyo siya when you learn biochem. Sa amin kasi, sa pharma, kasali talaga ito. Isa itong subject sa board exam. Pero nakaisang area siya with the inorganic chemistry and all the other chemistry that we have. So, iisa na siya in one area. So, merong mga parts doon na in-org, merong parts na org-chem. So, ako ang giampo nga pwede i-in-org na lang na tanan, dili na ta mag-organic chemistry sa board exam. Pero actually, gidungog dun sa ginawa kong pag-ampo ato when I took the board exam. Wala dyan gawas nga org-chem that time. So, kay dili dyan ko ganahan ani. Pero it's ironic na ginatudlo na ko ni siya karon. But sige, let us name this. So, the first step, Again, the first step is to identify the parent chain. Diretso-diretso ha, hindi ka pwedeng maputol pag nag-count ka. So kung mag-straight chain tayo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Diretso ha. Ayan. Anong ginawa ko? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kung dito ka, lumiko ka dyan, 7 lang yan. Pero kung dumiretso ka pa, this is 6 here, 7, and then meron ka pang isa, 8. So 8 yan siya. So hanapin mo ngayon saan yung pinakamahaba sa kanila. Syempre this one. So our parent chain is the straight chain. Okay, the straight chain. Walang liko-liko. So 9 yun siya, kaya non, di ba? Non. Ang prefix natin for 9 carbons is non, and then single bond sila lahat. So ane, nonane. Okay? Nonane siya. Now, ano yung hindi included sa counting on the parent chain? This one here. And then another one here. And the whole thing. Again, the whole thing. The whole thing dyan na siya, upat ka carbon. And hindi natin sila pwede ipaghiwalay kasi isang bonding lang for the whole thing. So, ika-count talaga natin sila as one. Now, let us give name to our substituent. Names, I mean, kasi marami tayong substituents. We have here 1 carbon. So, this is called a methyl. And then this one here is still 1 carbon. So, this is still a methyl. So, meron tayong dalawang methyl na hindi na-count sa parent chain. And then, this one here is again counted as 1. The first thing that you need to know is ilang carbon yan. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 na carbons. And ano yung ating prefix pag-apat? Bute. Ito siya susulat. Pag-4 ang carbons, our prefix is bute. And then, since this one is a substituent, we don't call it butane. Okay? Kasi nag-1 hydrogen yan siya, especially here. So we have here butyl. Pero, take note, si butyl dyan na substituent is not a straight chain. Kasi supposedly si butyl is just a straight chain class. Magiging CH2, dito siya magbaband, CH2, CH2, CH3. Ito yung tinatawag natin na butyl talaga. Straight chain siya. Pero this time, it's not a straight chain. The bonding is here on the second carbon. Okay, the bonding again here is on the second carbon. Kaya, hindi mo siya idediretsyong butyl. Instead, tatawagin natin siyang sec-butyl. Okay? Again, tatawagin natin siyang sec-butyl. Bakit? Kasi hindi siya straight chain na butyl, nakaliko siya, and the bonding on the parent chain happens here on the second carbon. This is your carbon number 1. This is carbon number 2. So second carbon, at the same time, this one is a secondary carbon. And so ganit meaning sa secondary carbon, a carbon that is bonded to 2 more carbons. So it, aside from second carbon siya, it is also a secondary carbon. So we will call the substituent as sec-butyl. Okay? So yan yung name ng ating substituent na ito. Now after that, we will now number the carbons. So syempre, this will be carbon number 1. This is carbon number 2. On carbon number 2 class, may substituent ka na. Kung ibabaliktad mo, if this is your carbon number 1, 2, and 3, sa third carbon ka pa magkakaroon ng substituent if reverse ang gagawin natin. So, ipapatuloy natin itong numbering na ito. So this is 5 here, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay? And then, I told you to arrange the substituent alphabetically. And ang pag-alphabetical natin, hindi natin isasama yung mga prefixes like di, tri, and so on. And hindi din natin isasama yung sec na yan. Magko-concentrate talaga tayo sa pag-alphabetical doon sa name talaga na nagre-represent ng number of carbons. So mauuna si butyl class kasi letter B yan siya. So pag isusulat mo na siya, anong carbon nakalagay si sec-butyl? Carbon number 5. So isusulat mo siya as 5-sec-butyl. Okay? That's how you write it. 5-sec-butyl. Tapos, anong next? Meron tayong dalawang methyl. So pag dalawa, di ba, we will call it dimethyl. Pero you also have to write the number of the carbon kung saan sila nakaband. The first one is bonded on carbon number 2, and then the other one is bonded on carbon number 7, and then dash, and you will write dimethyl. So, tama lang. 5-sec-butyl, 2,7-dimethyl, no name. Okay, questions about this one? Medyo mas mahirap ito, no? Kasi number 1, hindi masyadong familiar yung sec-butyl. Bakit may sec? Kasi ano siya, ganito. Pag sinabi kasi nating butyl class, 4 carbons. So kagaya nito, 4 carbons siya. Pero pag straight chain butyl class, ito talaga siya, CH2, pang-isahan siya na straight chain, and that dito sa pinakadulo dapat yung kanyang bonding with the parent chain. Ito yung tinatawag natin na butyl. Okay? Nasa dulo ha ang bonding dapat doon sa parent chain. Pero kung titingnan natin itong substituent na ito, 4 carbons siya, pero hindi sa dulo yung kanyang bonding sa parent chain, nasa gitna. Specifically on the second carbon. Okay, specifically on the second carbon. Kaya, hindi mo siya tatawagin na butyl lang. Tatawagin natin siyang sec-butyl to really show na the bonding of this butyl takes place on the second carbon. Kaya siya tinawag na sec-butyl. Okay? Questions pa? I hope naintindihan. Kaya ito sabi ko sa inyo kanina, mas mahirap lang itong example na ito because of the sec-butyl. The sec-butyl kasi nasa second carbon ang bonding. The sec here refers to the bonding on the parent chain. Pag butyl lang, class, take note, nasa dulo ang kanyang bonding with the parent chain. Pero ito nasa second. What if nasa third? What do you mean nasa third? Wait lang ha. Let me clear the writings on the screen. And then, ano kung nasa third? Sige daw, let's draw that one. Let's clear the writings. Oh, I need. Wait ah. Hindi ko ganahan magsulat o daghan sa sulat we have another screen. Isulat natin ulit. Okay, isulat natin siya ulit. Sino nga yung nag-ask? Si Anne. What if daw nasa third? Okay, sige. Sulat natin ulit yung ating compound. Ay. Ano pangalan nun? Non-name, no? So, 9. Makalimot din ko pero diba? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then 6, then 7, then 8, and then 9. Tapos, ano yun? 2,7-dimethyl. 2,7. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nandito yung ating butyl. Later ko na isusulat si butyl. Fill in ko muna ito with hydrogen. 2, 3, H na lang. CH3, CH2, and CH3. Okay. And then, anong question mo sa ikatatlong carbon? Example, this one. CH. If this is carbon, CH3, and then CH2, CH, meron ka pang isa dito na CH3. Tama, CH na lang siya. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. If this is your carbon number 1, actually, hindi yan siya magiging third carbon. Kasi dito ka talaga mag-carbon number 1 sa malapit. So ito, sec pa rin siya. Ilagay mo man siya dito yung bonding or dito, magiging sec butyl pa rin yan siya, class. I hope na wala mo nalibog ha. Kaya ingon si Ann, paano daw sa carbon number 3? Kung carbon number 1, 2, 3, and 4, this one is not actually possible. Kasi magka-carbon number 1 ka, doon talaga sa pinakamalapit na bonding. So kahit iganito mo pa yung pagkasulat niya, ang tawag natin dito sa kanya, sec-butyl pa rin. Kasi this will always be your carbon number 1, pinakamalapit. So nasa second carbon siya, so sec-butyl pa rin siya. Okay? So ngayon, ang gagawin natin, I'll be giving you a formula and kayo yung magne-name. Kayo na naman, mag-practice tayo for the remaining time. Let's see kung ma-apply nyo na yung guides, yung rule na tinuro ko sa inyo. But let me draw first the structure. Okay, sige. Kamu daw? Later, Jandi, I'll give you an example of a third butyl. Okay. Sige. You apply the rules na ako ang gitudlo. Need to stretch. And then, let's see later if makuha niyo yung tamang answer. Okay. Asynchronous. Okay. Okay, sige, may mga nag-send na. Let's see kung sa'yo tamaan na. Let's wait for some more. 2 minutes. Sige, naglibog pa ang uban. Ayun ko. Ang isa ba? Diba? Okay, sino na yung mga nag-send dito? Okay. Sige ha, let's name. Ano na may... okay, sige. Mali daw ang uban. Okay. Let's see. Say tama ani. The first thing, di ba, that gagawin natin is to identify the parent chain. So let's count. If I start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just 5. Pag lumiko ako, 6, 7. So this is 7 here. Pag pumunta ako sa taas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6. Pag dito ako nag-start, you can actually start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is also 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. Okay. Or kung pumunta ako sa baba, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 here. Siyempre ito, hindi ko na siya i-count ha. Pwede kasi sa taas ka mag-start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pero may 9 na akong nakita dito. So definitely this will be my parent chain. Yes, JM?
Ma'am, yung sa baba, hindi yan, ma'am, substituent.
Hindi pa siya magiging substituent not until makuha mo yung parent chain mo. So di ba sabi ko kanina, the parent chain, hindi talaga siya almost necessarily na straight chain lang. Pwede siyang lumiko-liko as long as dugtong-dugtong sila. Hindi ka mag-stop. And siya yung pinaka marami. So anong ginawa ko? This is 1, 2, dugtong sila, di ba? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So, liko-liko siya pag ganyan. Okay, I hope nakita nyo. This one going here and then straight and then going down. That can still be a parent chain. Bisag nagliko-liko na siya, class. Basta kay diretso-diretso siya, hindi ka napuputol in counting, and at the same time, siya yung pinakamarami. Yan yung magiging parent chain natin. Okay? May nag-answer ng heptane, ng octane, pero take note, meron tayong 9 carbon here na dugtong-dugtong, diretso-diretso. So siya yung magiging parent chain. Therefore, if that is the parent chain, this becomes a branch or a substituent, and this also becomes a substituent. Dalawa lang yung substituent natin, class. This one here is a methyl, kasi 1 carbon, and this one is 2 carbon, so we call this an ethyl. Yan lang yung substituent natin. Substituents. Now, if magna-number tayo ng carbon, saan kaya tayo mag-start? Wait lang, let me delete all the things na hindi ko kailangan in numbering. Okay. So in numbering, if I start here, 1, 2, 3, at carbon number 3, may substituent na ako. If I start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, sa carbon number 4 pa ako mag-substituent. So this one is really my carbon number 1. Okay. Ayan. So, my substituents will be on carbon number 3 and carbon number 6. Pero, alphabetical man tayo, so mauuna nating isulat si ethyl. So, 6 ethyl. Ayan. And 3. 3 dash methyl. So, this will be the correct answer. 6 ethyl, 3 methyl nonane. Let's see, insay nakatama. Ito sa mga first bet, let's review sa pinakataas. Katong wala pa nato na identify ang parent chain kung kinsay nakatama.
Ma'am, isa pa.
Isa
Pwede
pa.
straight naman this time.
At saan sa? Kanang straight. Kanang straight. Ito yun ako na siya liko-liko just to see kung ma-identify ba ninyo ang parent chain. Okay, may nakatama man pala before natin na-identify yung parent chain.
Ma'am, name reveal.
Si ano? Si Julia Tahil. Na-identify niya yung correct answer before natin nakita yung parent chain. Tama ang kanyang answer. 6 ethyl, 3 methyl nonane. Okay, very good, Julia. The rest, hindi niyo nakita. And also Gemwell. Tama si Gemwell. 6-ethyl, 3-methyl nonane. Very good. Okay, may nakuha. May nakakuha. Dalawa.
Ma'am, mali man yan, Char.
Okay, do not forget how we are looking for the longest chain.
Another example daw, ma'am.
Well, what time
Ma'am,
is it?
isip eh. Karang mas daghan-daghan po jud og liko-liko, ma'am.
Wait lang, it's almost time. So I'll make this an assignment and then we will answer on Monday. Tanaw na to kung tama inyuhang
Ma'am, na ay points kahit
Ay points, oy, bisag mali.
Ma'am, basta nasabtan na mo siya.
Pag nasabdan mo siya, dapat tama yung answer.
Kaso
Oh,
mali man to imuha, ma'am, kay daghan nga kag liko-liko.
Ay, no, na mali. Kamu ang mali. Kaya nga nung wala ninyo siya, gibilang og tarong. Bilangan ninyo og tarong. Wait lang. I'll give you an assignment. You have to name this, ha?
ma'am ganiha manggod ingon dito sa sa first nimo nga gipakita mali daw tong nagliko.
Ma'am, ayaw sig ano kay JM. Alam niyo lutang yan siya, ma'am.
Lutang wala pa ka nagmata, JM.
Ma'am, tama man akong hula, ma'am, mali lang jud ilang answer sa duha.
Wait lang, kumano na ko niya.
Man kay kakabalo JM kung unsay prefix sa 7.
Oh, ganit nang utana ko, hepta di ay ito siya, ma'am, unya nona di ang sagot.
Ako naman rin ako sa mga. Sige, memorize ninyo ang mga prefixes na to. This one is the first one. You have to name this. Tama ba akong mga hydrogen? Basig na ako yung na-miss. Tama.
Ano?
JM, gusto nimo daghan?
Oo, oy, abi pa lang.
Ma'am, pwede iba ang assignment ni JM po.
Uy, guys, mag-undang jud din yung kinabuhi ron.
Okay, this one. Oh, na to. Kung sa'yo makatamaan na, I'll give you another one. Practice good da ani ha.
Ma'am, buntag pagani. Kalma lang.
Sobra, ma'am. Halang kayo sa
Ma'am,
mata.
kalma.
Buntag ko sa'yo, basta buntag. Ano mong good 7:30 ni inyuhang chemistry. Pero nindot man na siya kay kapag...
Tama maning oras, ma'am, ang assignment. Kalmahan lang po nato.
Tulo lang, oy, tulo lang. Lang ha.
Ma'am, basig na ulaw pa ka, ma'am. Himong aglima para kay JM, ma'am.
Mo na tong 5 para kay JM para ma-practice yun siya.
Yes, ma'am, kaya di siya kabalo sa prefix. My gosh, JM.
Oh, ganit nang utana ko, di ba? Ang sama na, uy, mangutana ba day ko kung kahibaw ko?
Wala siya
Right,
gapaminaw,
ko.
ma'am.
Dili jud nakalimtan na magud ako daghan nag-unod akong utok.
Sana all na utok.
Pinapalistan din mo aning ano ba? Organic chem. I don't like this also. Okay, this one. Please copy. And then we will answer on Monday. Let's
Yes, ma'am.
see if... Kani kay, di yun ninyo ni pwede mag-Google class. Wala yung maka-Google.
Ma'am, sabi ni JM, di mo daw sure.
Sige,
Uy,
beta
ako
na to ang
nasa-
inyong mga mga technique, mga pinagbabawal
Yes po,
na
ma'am.
technique din ha. Yes, Jamuel.
Sa number 2, good ma'am. Kulang siya ng H sa sa 7
Ay.
carbon sa parent.
Yeah. This one? Oo.
Same din po sa number 1,
Yes
ma'am.
po.
Wait lang ha, kay nalibat na ta. Asa dapit?
Karang sa ano, ma'am? Sa baba, ma'am.
Ano?
Yang may, oo.
1, 2, 3, 4 naman na. So wala na siya hydrogen. This one ha, 1, 2,
Wow.
3, 4. So apat na yan siya na bonds. So na-occupy, no need for a hydrogen there.
Mauna, Mar.
Mm-mm.
Uy, at least si Mariel, na ano na ikaw GM ba?
Blurry akong
Jen
mata,
D.
Tama na?
sorry.
Kindly kindly double check basig nalibat ko. Dili pud ba lalim mo sulat og sige sulat og hydrogen, be? Basig nalibat ng tinuod ko CH2.
Ma'am, when ang deadline, anak, ma'am?
Sa Sunday. Kay Monday man natin ni siya i-check.
Ay, sakto, ma'am. Ampuan dyan ako na.
Sunday, syempre 11:59. Basta college ka, estudyante ka, bro ka sa meaning sa 11:59. Okay? So that will be our assignment. I hope nakopya na. Kay mag-next na ko.
Yes po, ma'am.
Sige. So kani i-diretso na to atong discussions on Monday after answering the assignment. And then after that we will have the cycloalkanes. So ano punta, naming punta ani and maghimo punta og structure. And